everybody's been asking me to do an update on the Ptyas, and apparently a lot of you really enjoy kind of the collection pictures, so I figure start with some Ptyas. This is one of my very long-term captives, and these animals, I mean, I've never worked with a snake like this before. Just really incredible stuff. Now, a few of these animals have made it out into other people's collections. I actually have established a pretty good number for myself. So I've been cutting loose a little bit of surplus. And a lot of those animals that I have been selling haven't been around long enough for those people to be able to do something like this. This takes a little bit of time. I've learned a lot about these snakes, and they're just really something else. They're a lot of fun to interact with. Crazy eaters and real interesting stuff. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of snakes today. Most of them you probably never even seen before. Throw a little bit more diversity into the hobby. I know a lot of the videos that are out there are just the same old thing. You know, reptile shows are just full of all this stuff. So I want to open your eyes to even more new animals. So I would say that snake is probably about 10 feet long. Not my biggest one. I have a couple other guys here that are bigger. This one right here also is one of my very long-term animals. It's a big old male, older animal, but you know, just feeding incredible, and the girth and the size and even the weight of this animal. These are not supposed to usually be very heavy animals straight out of the wild, but you know, here in captivity they're eating really good like clockwork, and these guys are just something else. Now, when I come into this room, you know, a lot of times they're all looking at me. They want to, you know, is it food time? Is it water bowl time? What time is it? They're very curious. Their eyesight is really good, and you know, they utilize that. And really fun to interact with. Really like these guys. Some of the newer arrivals I can't do this with, but you know, these guys, I'm very familiar with these. These are my buds, I call them. So so to do something like this, you know, with a wild caught animal, especially a Ptyas, is a little bit hairy. But I know these animals. I feel like I really know these animals, and they see me and they respond to me differently than if I have strangers in here. They don't act the same. They're very intelligent. A lot of people talk about the intelligence of their pythons and whatnot, and it's like those animals are void of one really keen sense, and that's eyesight. Normal snakes, you know, most of snakes, they don't have very good eyesight. These guys have incredible eyesight. So it's fun stuff. Now, this year I was able to pull off something a little bit different. I was able to acquire some Ptyas carnatus out of Malaysia. I believe what I have is the only locality animals of Ptyas carnatus here in the United States. In particular is this little baby here that has grown extremely fast. I probably should have done video on this guy when it first came in, but you know, I just wanted to let it settle. But this snake is incredible. So this is just a youngster. It's about, I'd say, double the size that it was when it first came in. But this is a Ptyas carnatus, but this is a Malaysian locality. These animals are proving themselves to be very light in color. All the Ptyas, as you've seen, the carnatus, they fade to a light color about mid-body and then to the tail. These do the same thing, but these are just a lighter color overall. And I have a couple of adult animals, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But this right here is absolutely incredible. When I first laid my eyes on it, I couldn't believe it. And of course, I was a little bit nervous because they were wild caught, and I had to, you know, make sure I did everything right. When you have something that's so rare, I get really nervous. You know, you don't want to make any mistakes. And I got this one feeding really, really good, and there are no issues. This animal's growing incredibly fast. So that right there is probably one of the highlights over the past several years. Very, very fun and very lucky to have this little one here. So that's the Malaysian locality Ptyas carnatus. I will show you what the bigger ones look like. These animals have not been here that long, and I certainly cannot do the same thing like I did with this guy, resting his head on my ear. That's not going to happen with this animal right here, but I will give you so this is a Malaysian locality Ptyas carnatus, and you can see the different color. The tail in particular fades to an unbelievable blonde type color. It's very, very different. It's amazing how the animals can have such a different look just moving to the north to a different country. It's not that far, but it's far enough outside the range of the Indonesian stuff to where they take on a different color. So it's pretty cool. I'm a little bit nervous around the newer arrivals. So that's the Malaysian stuff. I really like the Malaysian stuff. It's pretty incredible. I also have acquired 3 melanistic animals. The really, really black one that I have is deep in blue. It's just like a jet black. This animal here, he is what I would consider a melanistic, but there's a little bit of lighter banding and coloration here. So when they get excited, they expand their skin and they start showing some of the banding. The banding really isn't in the scalation. The banding is in the skin underneath. But this is, you know, no joke either. It's a big one. And I haven't had a lot of time to interact with this guy, so we don't know each other extremely well yet. Something else that is a first for me. This is Ptyas fusca. This animal just came not too long ago. Now everything about this animal is a little bit different. The build is different, the head is different, Even the pupils are a little bit different. To me, this looks more and acts more like a bronzeback than it does a Ptyas. I would love for somebody to do a little bit more study and possibly some reclassification, but really interesting. The common name is a white-bellied rat snake, or white-bellied keeled rat snake. You can see obviously why it gets that name. Now this snake has eaten for me on a couple of rat pups so far. So pretty interesting stuff for the people that are into all this oddball weird animals. This is extremely rare. So hopefully with some more time it'll continue to establish and do better, and you know, hopefully another one or two might trickle in with my shipments. I did catch one of these in the wild. It was a pretty exciting experience. You can click the link and go to that video and watch it. It was pretty cool. Basically the only Ptyas that I've ever found so far to date in the wild, and it was one of these guys way up high in the tree. Pretty interesting, and also, you know, very keeled like that, not filled out so much like these Ptyas carnatas. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I got these very, very recently from Malaysia, these bronzeback snakes. The first that I've seen of these particular ones right here. Very, very pretty. Lots of color, lots of blue and green color. Very, very interesting. Big giant eyes. And part of the reason why I made that comment about the Ptyas fusca resembling more of a bronzeback is because the eyes really look like the bronzeback, the Ptyas fusca and the bronzeback. All the other Ptyas just have normal round pupils with no pigment, no coloration there. These have an eye stripe that goes right through it. It looks just like the other animal, and it feels like the other animal. The head is more narrow and elongated. But anyway, these are really cool. So this also came out of Malaysia. This is a juvenile Oligodon, Kukri snake. This one looks very, very different than the ones that I've seen coming out of Indonesia. The banding on this one almost has kind of a bluish color to it. Very, very interesting, very unique. And the demeanor of this one has been really mellow. And I've been feeding him quail eggs. I've been cracking open quail eggs and just dropping the yolk and the raw egg into a small container. And this one's been going in there and eating as much as I put in there. So very, very convenient for a food source. Actually, I have a local quail breeder just a few miles away, and that's where I get my frozen quail from. And if I need eggs, of course, that's a no-brainer. So I always have those on hand. But really, really pretty. Very, very different for those of you that have seen any of the purple spotted kukris that I've gotten out of Indonesia. This animal is way different than those. But really neat. I really like, Malaysia has some really interesting animals. Everything just seems to be a lot different in appearance, and there's a lot of really obscure species and subspecies of a lot of different stuff. So, pretty cool Kukri snake. So this is a paradise flying snake. Deep, deep in blue. You can see the eyes are opaque. But it's one of the last ones that are left here that didn't get sold out of that last shipment. Now these are primarily gecko feeders. They will take pinkies. A varied diet is usually best, in my opinion. I wrote an article for the latest digital version of Herp Nation magazine, kind of talking about my experience with husbandry, acclimation, and even breeding of Paradises. So if you missed it, check it out. And from Indonesia, I've got a whole bunch of baby scrub pythons, baby farmed baby scrub pythons, and they're all acclimating and doing super awesome. These guys just fed yesterday, as you can see the little hopper mice in the belly there. But these guys are doing very, very well, and so look for these for being available here pretty soon. And if you're local and you're going to be attending any of the expos, I foresee having scrub pythons, quite a few, big assortment. And if you're interested in scrub pythons, hit me up. I've got some that have been here even longer than this batch here, and they're still little red babies like this, and they're doing very, very well. So also the southern white-lip pythons, the black white-lip pythons, these came in not too long ago. They sold very, very fast. This is the new locality Tanameras, the ones that are very, very docile. It references back to a previous video that I did, so if you're interested in those, check out the video. I have started a waiting list. I am just about sold out right now at this moment, but I am expecting just a few more in the next shipment. So if you're interested and you want to be added on that waiting list, make sure you send me an email, contact me, let me know. I'll take down your information, and if there are enough to go around, you will be included on that next assortment. So these are mangrove snakes, also out of Malaysia. These are Melanota. They get bigger than the Indonesian stuff. They come in much better condition. They're more expensive, but in my opinion, totally worth it. It's a very, very small amount of those guys. I may be getting some more in late June or super early July. So also, if you're interested in those, hit me up. I do have a few available right now, not many. But let me know if you're interested. I'll take down your information, see what I can do for you. This one here is just a youngster. And they get quite large. This one's been with me here for probably about half a year now. But these guys get very, very big. It's a big boy, big male. So I've incorporated this guy into one of my breeding projects here, and I got a couple of girls set aside, and hopefully I'll have luck again when I had these going before. They weren't particularly difficult to breed. The babies were pretty easy to get started. The Malaysian stuff just seems to be much more easygoing, and they eat rodents readily, so it's really cool. So for those of you that know me, talk to me at the expos, or we message back and forth, occasionally I'm referring to my office. The animals in my office are kind of in some nice planted vivariums. So this is the first time I've really shown these cages. It's not a lot, I mean, it's just in my office, but have nice canopies with some lights. I have some foggers, and I just have some random stuff in here. I have green tree pythons, some annulated tree boas. These right here are, like, I'm really, really excited about this. This one up in the back is a female, just a normal, big, older animal. Little bit of Biak bloodline there. And this one right here is just really incredible. This was a farm-bred baby that came to me as kind of a well-started youngster, and it had pattern and everything, and it looked slightly different. It did not look like this at all. It just looked slightly different. There was something about it, as you can see in this photo, just a little bit of indication that there was something a little bit different. This animal is now an adult. The white spots have come in extremely well, and the green is gone. There's a few little green flecks in there. This animal is not handleable at all. I mean, that guy, he's not real happy with me ever. but just thriving in these cages is just really, really nice. So I'm really stoked on that animal. So it's here in the office. It's achieved its the prestige to make it into my office. And then here on the other side, these are some bigger cages, same setups with the backgrounds and that. These are my two male Spilotes. This is actually father and son. Father, of course, the older one is high yellow and he's deep, deep in shed. But you know, usually what I do is I'll run my female through here. They kind of have claimed this cage, and I usually don't have the younger male in there for that long, but the female just laid eggs and I haven't pulled them out of there yet. And then right next to it here, this is just one of my pairs of sarong barneck scrub pythons, or I should say barneck type. This is a captive bred male, beautiful gold one here. And the one in the back there is one of the long-term imports that they all just fed yesterday, so they're all kind of chilling. There's radiant heat panels up at the top there, so that's why a lot of the animals are not only arboreal, but they're up there because they're perched and closer to the heat. And then this is the incubator setups. These are the old school Neotiche incubator cubes. I have a couple of those in case I have some clutches of animals. If I have majority of colubrids, then I'll run those a little warmer. If I have majority of pythons or whatnot, I'll put those in this incubator and run this one warmer because it has a higher capacity. And then I'll run these, I'll drop the temperature down lower, and then these guys will run at a different temperature. So it gives me some range here. And then what's in the incubator right now, I've got yellow-tailed crebos. I have Boiga cyanea and Boiga synodon incubating in the same box. Those eggs are small enough to where they're all fit in the same box. And then I have some Spilotes eggs here, and then just some random stuff in the top that kind of some of the geckos and miscellaneous stuff. But there's more eggs coming, and I have room for more, so hopefully I'll be able to fill it up a little better. But yeah, you know, basically this is just my little office. I don't spend too much time out here with these cages in here. The room gets a little bit warm, so I try to leave the windows open and let nature drop the temps in here at nighttime. So, and then in the summertime, if it gets too hot, then I have an air conditioner and I'll run that. So this is it. This is the office. All right, everybody. So there you have it. A bunch of really weird stuff from DM Exotics. The stuff that I specialize in. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's probably going to be my last video. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're taking a break. We're headed back to Thailand next month, and we should be back around mid-June. Any of that stuff, if you saw, you know, you're interested in it, hit me up. I still can ship for another 3 to 4 weeks before we're out of here. But hopefully when we get back, we'll also have some pretty nice quality video of whatever we are, you know, able to capture while we're on our vacation. We're doing the Reptile Super Show in San Diego in the beginning of July. Look to see a lot of this really weird off-the-wall stuff on our table. We'll be posting it on Facebook and my website. So that's about it. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for watching. Take care.